To our top story, where supporters of embattled Ethekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede have taken to the streets to protest, demanding that the mayor be reinstated. Our reporter Ziyanda Ngobo is on the streets of Durban monitoring those developments. Ziyanda, a very good morning to you once again. We understand that rubber bullets and tear gas are making their way on the streets of Durban. Tell us what's happening.
Good morning, Mpho. We've just seen a journalist being arrested. He is in the back of this van, which is behind me. Police have used force to put him inside this police van. It's unclear where the tension began. We kept on screaming to the authorities to say, he's a journalist, he's a journalist. One of the cops then came back to me to say, well, he also swore at them and they had to actually take him down. He was surrounded by about 4 or 5 policemen who were on top of him. One of the leaders of this march as well, Dube, who I interviewed earlier this morning as well, taken down by authorities, put to the floor on the ground where authorities were trying to put handcuffs on him. This also happened with several other leaders who've now been packed up and put at the back of police vans. What happened was that a few moments ago, we're still standing on the streets. There was tension between the supporters of Zandile Gumede and authorities after authorities fired their first stun grenade. They were questioning what they have done to deserve this kind of treatment for authorities. And shortly after that, then we saw the firing of stun grenades and rubber bullets. And then thereafter, it just descended into chaos. It's unclear how it came to be that a journalist who was on the scene, who was on the sidelines with us, also came to be arrested by authorities.
And earlier on, when we first started our crossing, there were tensions between police and a group of supporters who had gathered outside the City Hall. Talk us through exactly how those tensions emulated to what we witnessed a few minutes ago with that journalist being surrounded by police officers.
Well, as I've explained, we were standing on the sidelines. We'd moved down West Street, where authorities were trying to actually push the protesters to the steps of the Durban City Hall. They were maintaining that they want to keep at least one lane on the street closed off, but authorities want to open it up to traffic. And thereafter, there was that firing shots from the authorities. Still, the protesters remained on the streets, and then the authorities then pushed back. And as I've said, it did descend into chaos, where authorities were now also using force, grabbing, pushing and shoving some of the supporters to the ground. And that's where tensions really have escalated. Judging from the situation right now, there is a police signala. A lot of the supporters have moved off the streets. They ran off to the sides where they seem to have been ducking for cover. There's a police signala in front of you, and there is a very, very heavy police presence here on the streets of Durban this morning.
Thank you so much for that update. Our reporter Ziyanda Ngobo on the streets of Durban saying that a journalist is among those who have been arrested as protesters had been gathering on the street, protesting and chanting, calling for Mayor Zandile Gumede to be reinstated, to return to her position and return to work this morning. Of course, this is a developing story. Our reporters on the ground to monitor those developments as and when they occur.